Because I don't care what any woman tells me. With all things being equal, with the only difference between two guys is $1 million, they're picking the guy with $1 million. So today I want to talk to you guys about men and women having the right to want what they want. This video is to address some of my naysayers that think I don't know what I'm talking about. I come on here and I tell you guys what men, not all men, but what most men want, and I tell you guys what the majority of women want. People think I come on here and just make shit up out of thin air, but everything that I am telling you can be backed up by empirical data. There are several studies that show that women, by and large, want a man who makes as much, if not more than them. There are also several studies that show that men, by and large, want a woman who is fit. This is not my opinion. This is what the data shows. People want to argue with me saying I don't know what people want. But whenever they do the surveys, the data is clear. Now, I have seen studies that show a large percentage of people will say they have no preference when it comes to looks or money. That's bullshit. Because when you look at the studies that don't have a no preference option, all of a sudden you see women, when they have to choose between a man who makes more or a man who makes less, they are picking the man who makes more option. We all have preferences. We are just realistic about our expectations. Women may prefer a man who is rich, but they understand that that is not likely to happen. And they realize that a man making a median salary can still make them happy. People see these viral clips of women saying how they want a man who makes above 6 figures, but that is not a representation of most women. There's some women who are content with a man who makes less than them. But let's be honest, if they had it their way, they would want their man to be making more than them. Because I don't care what any woman tells me, with all things being equal, with the only difference between two guys is $1 million, they're picking the guy with $1 million. This is why I tell men time and time again, get your money right, get a career. Don't be complacent in your career either. Try to move up the corporate ladder. Find ways to bring in multiple streams of income. Do you need money to find love? Absolutely not. But this is about increasing your value in the dating market. The stats show the more money you make, the bigger your dating pool is. And of course, you want to be valued for more than your wallet, but being a provider is a key trait for men. And I know a lot of men want to call women shallow for wanting men of wealth and power, but I don't think women are as shallow as we make them out to be. It's just female nature, and men can't come to grips with that. Women are naturally hypergamous. Women want a man who is more accomplished and or wealthier than themselves. Women also want a man who can lead, and typically they are not going to want to follow someone that they are outshining. Wealth can make a man seem more masculine, therefore they are more attractive to women. If you have money, you can easily provide and give that security that so many women are looking for. A huge part of providing is giving. Giving is a masculine trait. Just think about Valentine's Day. It's typically the man that gives to the woman. And if you want to get deep into the psychology of it all, just think about the anatomy of the male and female bodies. Men are literally made to give to the woman, because we put our in there. You get the message. So if you really think about it, a woman's want and willingness to receive is just her being feminine. So you can't really blame women for wanting a man of wealth. However, you can blame them for only valuing his wealth. Money is just a piece of the pie. You still need a man who is caring, assertive, protective, and a leader. So if she wants a man who can pay all her bills, that's her right to want that. Now, whether she's going to get it or not, that's a whole nother conversation. But men need to stop blaming women for wanting what they want. Now, with that being said, women can't blame men for wanting what they want either. You shouldn't be upset that a man wants a woman who is fit. You shouldn't be upset that a man wants a woman who is feminine. You shouldn't be upset that a man wants a woman who dresses nice. Men are visual in nature, so you shouldn't be upset that men want a woman who looks a certain way. OnlyFans is popping for a reason. Men find it hard to resist a beautiful woman. But again, beauty should not be the only thing on his list. He should still want a woman who is supportive, nurturing, and tender. But best believe he still wants a woman who looks good. I know you got some guys who say, looks don't matter. What he's really saying is, looks aren't high on his list. But it's still on there, damn it. Because I bet my entire life savings, with all things being equal, with the only difference of one girl looking like Nia Long and the other girl looking like Leslie Jones, you picking the girl that look like Nia Long. I'm sorry, Leslie, but you be looking crazy sometimes. Now, before you hop in my comment section talking all crazy, are there men who don't prioritize looks and only care about personality? Sure, but those men are few and far between. And typically those type of men are the type of men who don't have the right to be choosy in the first place, if you know what I mean. So if you want a man to only value you on your personality, be prepared to accept a man who doesn't make a lot of money. Here's an interesting study. Researchers at Chapman University did a study that said some 95% of men with an advanced degree said it was essential that their partner was good looking versus 77% of those with a high school education or less. And 84% of those men said it was essential that their partner was slender versus 12% of those with a high school education or less. So that study is basically saying that men care about looks when they can afford to. That is a crazy stat. So if you want to sit here and argue with me about how looks don't matter, don't argue with me, argue with your mama, because the numbers don't lie. Some of you women may be confused because you've heard men say that they don't care about looks, but typically they are just being nice and or they want to sleep with you. Now you may be wondering why a man would want to sleep with someone that they do not find particularly attractive. Well, that's because regular men will gladly sacrifice looks to be in a relationship. It's not that he doesn't care about looks, it's just that he values the connection over looks. I've heard men blatantly say, hey, I know my girl isn't the prettiest, but I love her. So men aren't blind out here. They know how their woman stacks up to the competition. Men want what they want, and you guys need to stop using these shaming tactics to guilt men into wanting women who don't dress up or are out of shape. Just because you don't value your looks does not mean that men shouldn't value them either. I guess my overall message for the ladies is just because you bagged a guy when you were dressed down or out of shape does not mean you should never dress up for him or you never have to hit the gym. If anything, he accepted you at your worst, so you should strive to be at your best for him. Same for the guys. Just because she got with you when you was broke does not mean you get to sit on your ass all day. Your job as a man is to make your woman's life easier, and that's going to involve getting your money right. So you need to grind not just for yourself, but for your family as well. That's all I got for this one. Let me know what you thought of the video. What points did you agree with? What points did you disagree with? Leave your comments below and let me know what you thought. And if you got anything out this video, hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.